Nice to see you all back again. I bet you're all like me, itching to find out what happens at the end of our story. We have been doing this story, must be 10 weeks, I think. And I really think we deserve the ending now, don't we? I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen. Hope you've had a great week and kept yourselves busy and got out to do some exercise and walking like we have. But now, more importantly, settle down. Let's get on with the story. Okay, here we go. We're going to finish the story today. We left it last week where Zoe and her dad had found the warehouse, Bert's warehouse, where there were hundreds and hundreds of rats stored in cages. They found the machinery which proved he was mincing up the rats to make the burgers for his burger van. And whilst trying to find Armitage, they decided they just had to let all the rats free. But before they could, the dastardly Bert and Sheila turned up, crashing the van through the warehouse wall, because if you remember, we found out that Bert didn't have any eyes. And they're confronting each other at the moment, okay? And we left it with Dad shouting, you're disgusting, you two. How could you kill all those poor creatures? So here we go. Let's find out what happens. Oh, shut your face, you idiot, hollered Sheila. Those rats deserve to die, disgusting little things. Then she paused for a moment and looked at her stepdaughter. That's why I murdered your hamster. You killed Ginger Nut, screamed Zoe, tears in her eyes. I knew it. You evil cow, shouted Dad. Sheila and Bert shared a sickening laugh, united by cruelty. Yeah, I didn't want that dirty little thing in me flat, so I mixed some rat poison with his food. Ha ha, added the repulsive woman. How could you do that? Shouted Dad. Ah, shut your face, it was only an hamster. I always hated it, replied Sheila. Rat poison, ha ha, nice lingering death, added Bert with a breathy laugh. They just taste a bit funny afterwards, that's all. Zoe hurled herself at the pair. She wanted to tear them both to pieces. Dad pulled her back. Zoe, no, you don't know what they'll do. Dad had to use all his strength to stop his daughter from attacking them. Look, we don't want any trouble, he pleaded. Just hand over Zoe's pet rat and we'll go. Never, wheezed Bert. The baby ones are the most succulent. I was saving him for our little date, Sheila. Slowly Bert reached towards the filthy pocket of his apron. In fact, he said, I have your precious Armitage right here. He pulled the little rat out by its tail. Zoe's pet had been in there all along and not in the cages after all. Bert had tied Armitage's little hands and feet tightly together with metal wire so he couldn't escape. He looked like a little rat escapologist. No! Shouted Zoe when she saw him like that. He's gonna make a very tasty little burger, said Bert, licking his lips. Sheila studied the poor little thing dangling in the air and then turned to Bert. Ya can eat him, my one true love, she said. I might just stick to the prawn cocktail flavoured crisps, if you don't mind. Whatever you like, my angel sent from heaven. The blind man stumbled towards the pulverisation machine and turned the lever. A terrible grinding sound echoed through the warehouse. Slowly Bert began to climb the step ladder to the top of the funnel. Put that rat down, shouted Dad. Ha! As if anyone ever paid the slightest bit of attention to you. You're a joke. laughed Sheila. Zoe struggled free of her father's grip and ran after Bert. She had to save Armitage. However, by this time, the malevolent man was halfway up the stepladder, and poor little Armitage was wriggling his little body as much as he could, squeaking in terror. Zoe grabbed at Bert's leg, but he shook his foot violently to shake her off. Bert kicked her in the nose with the heel of his boot. She was knocked down hard to the concrete floor below. "Ah!" screamed Zoe. Dad sprinted over to the ladder and pursued the rat killer up onto it. Soon the two men were standing precariously on the top step, the ladder swaying side to side under their combined weight. Dad grabbed Bert's wrist and pushed it down to force him to release his grip on the little rat. "Drop me husband in the burger machine while you're at it," jeered Sheila. Dad's elbow brushed against Bert's face and knocked the rat catcher's glasses off his head. Coming face to face with the dark pools where the man's eyes should have been, Dad was so terrified he stepped back and lost his footing. His foot slipped backwards off the top of the step ladder towards the funnel. He began to slide down into the pulverization machine. Dad desperately grabbed onto Bert's apron for survival, but it was so greasy he was instantly losing his grip. "Please, please, please help me," said Dad. "No, I'm gonna feed you to the children," rasped Bert, his laugh rattling around his throat, prizing Dad's fingers off his apron one by one. "And your daughter's next." "Yeah, throw her in as well," cheered on Sheila. Badly winded, Zoe rose unsteadily to her hands and feet and crawled over to the step ladder to help her father. Sheila desperately tried to stop her, grabbing the little girl brutally by the hair and yanking her back. Then she swung her stepdaughter around by the hair and flung her up into the air, up, and then down hard. Zoe screamed in agony as she hit the ground for a second time. "Ah!" Despite her thick, frizzy hair, the impact dazed Zoe for a moment. "Bert, stay there and I'll help you finish him off," called Sheila to the two men still fighting on the top of the burger machine. Slowly, the grotesquely large lady made her way up the steps, the ladder creaking under her considerable weight. Still dizzy, Zoe opened her eyes to see her stepmother wobbling to the top of the ladder. The woman was trying to prise Dad's fingers off Bert's greasy apron. One by one, she was bending them back, laughing as she forced her husband closer and closer to being turned into a burger. However, Sheila was so heavy that as she bent to one side to prise off the poor man's final finger, her weight made the whole ladder topple over onto the side. Crash! Bert and Sheila fell forward, head first, into the pulverization machine. Dad just managed to grab onto the side of the funnel with one hand. Armitage was falling into the machine with the cruel rat catcher. Nothing could stop the baby rat being pulverized. Just then, as Bert tumbled through the air, Armitage bit the monster's finger and, squealing, "Ah!" Bert flicked the rat off his hand and up into the air. Up, and into Dad's outstretched hand. "Got him!" called Dad. Now he was hanging by one hand to the lip of the funnel and clutching Armitage with the other, and Armitage was squeaking like crazy. At that moment there was a gurgling sound, and the gruesome twosome passed through the machine. It clunked and groaned like never before as they passed through the rollers, and finally 2 very large burgers trundled out. In one, Bert's shattered wraparound shades poked out, and in another, Sheila's pink furry slippers were clearly visible. They were 2 distinctly unappetising looking burgers. "Help!" yelled Dad. He was moments from being a burger himself. Zoe's attention shot back to the funnel. Her father was still holding onto the side of the pulverisation machine, with one greasy hand gripping Armitage. Dad's feet were still dangling over the grinders below, scuffing the tips of his shoes with a noise like a piece of paper being lowered into a desk fan. Zoe could see that he was still sliding. The grease on his hand from Bert's apron meant slowly but surely he was losing his grip. Any moment now he was going to breathe his last breath and then come out of the machine as another rather large burger. Click on to the next part and we'll see what's happening.